Pete the Cat's Groovy Guide to Life by Kimberly and James Dean. Tips from a cool cat for living an awesome life. I like the one on the back. It says, keep it simple, chill out. That looks like fun, doesn't it? Maybe it'll warm up soon so that we can do that. Life takes courage. Be brave. Once upon a time. To begin, begin. That's what William Wordsworth says. And Pete the Cat says, takes courage. Be brave. So, he's writing a book. How awesome. Or a story. You don't know where you're going. Any path will get you, says Lewis Carroll. And Pete says, go with the flow. This is the one that's on the back. Pete says, keep it simple, chill out. And Confucius says, life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. That is so true. Walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking alone in the light. And that's by Helen Keller. And Helen Keller is a woman who was born who couldn't see and she couldn't hear. And she was the one who was instrumental in getting Braille writing started. And that's where she can feel it with her fingers. Even though she can't see, she could feel it. It's a dot system that helps spell things. And it's kind of like a language of its own. Kind of like American Sign Language, but it's a one that you can feel. Okay, and Pete says, far out. With a friend, you are never alone. Thomas Edison said, opportunity is missed by most people because it comes dressed in overalls and looks a lot like work. Do you remember Thomas Edison? He's the one who invented the light bulb. And Pete the Cat says, amazing things happen when you work hard. Ooh, he's on a tractor. Wayne Gretzky, who is a hockey player, says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And Pete the Cat says, go for it. Take that shot. My dad used to always say about baseball, you can't hit the ball if you don't swing the bat. So, he is got the idea of these guys. And Henry Ford, who invented cars, said, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that an airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. And Pete says, Groovy, if you try, you can fly. Oscar Wilde says, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Pete says, if you want to be cool, just be you. Cool cat. This book is full of awesome quotes. Make each day your masterpiece by John Wooden. And look for the good in every day. Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once you grow up. That's Pablo Picasso. He is an amazing artist. And he says it's cool to color outside the lines. And that's what Pete says. So if you make it your own, there you go. Eleanor Roosevelt, who is the wife of one of the presidents, says, you must do the things you think you cannot do. And Pete says, nothing is impossible. That's what it says in the Bible, too. With God, nothing is impossible. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. Ralph Waldo Emerson. He's a writer also. And Pete says, birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, and I'm feeling all right. Plato was a philosopher, and he said, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." Pete says, "With a smile and a little kindness, you can make someone's day brighter." This says heartburn relief. I suppose if you're breathing fire, maybe you got heartburn. This too shall pass is by an unknown author. Above the clouds, the sun is always shining, says Pete. And a Yiddish proverb says, "A meowing cat catches no mice." That is true. And Pete says, "Don't talk too much." I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's Thomas Edison also, who is the one who invented the light bulb, remember? And Pete says, there are no failures, just lessons. So, learn from your mistakes. Albert Einstein says, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Pete says, being different is very cool, and there is something everyone can do. So, should a fish be able to climb a tree? No. So, you want to work on the things you can and try some new things here and there. Emily Dickinson, who is a writer, said, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tunes without the words and never stops at all. Pete says, don't lose hope. Keep on rocking. Remember the one about Pete the cat rocking in his school shoes? Most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. Abraham Lincoln wrote that. Remember, he was the 16th president. He's the one who's on the penny. And he ended the Civil War and slavery. And Pete says, be happy. There's a proverb that says, smooth seas do not make a skillful sailors. And Pete says, it can get tough, but you are tougher. A man who carries a cat by the tail learns something he can learn in no other way. That's by Mark Twain, who is a writer. And he says, dude, don't even think about it, says Pete. Do you think it's a good idea to carry a cat by its tail? No, it'll probably scratch you. William Shakespeare is also a writer, and he said, if music be the food of love, play on. Keep strumming, says Pete. He loves music, loves tuna. We're all good to go. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Dalai Lama, the 14th. So that's a religious leader in Tibet. And Pete says, kindness starts with me. And the last one, Leonardo da Vinci, who was an inventor and a writer, said, a well-spent day brings happy sleep. Pete says, it's a good day. You have a good day also. And have an awesome time in first grade.